can talk about it. In the back room of the back room, it was all bad fumes in the back room. Skeleton-filled closets in the back too. You can talk about it. 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 You can. In the back room of the back room, it was all bad fumes in the back room. Skeleton-filled closets in the back too. You can talk about it. 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 You can talk about it.
West Side. Yo. Hey, Lisa. Been a while, huh? We back at this thing, huh? Huh?
Welcome to the Backroom Speaks podcast.
All right.
The bravest space for creatives.
Yeah.
I'm still here after 2 weeks off.
After 2 weeks off, man. Niggas took mental health breaks.
Some calorific.
I don't know. Pornhub breaks. Whatever. I don't know what it was. It was a break.
You should take a...
Nonetheless.
You're going to break it. You should You're going to hurt yourself.
Well, you know.
You're going to hurt
yourself. That's why I got insurance. Let me tell you something about this good job, okay? Listen, it is episode 14.
Wow, what are we doing here?
What
are we selling here?
I don't know. But yeah, sex sales. It's episode 14 of the Backroom Speaks podcast. The bravest space, as Lisa said, for creatives. Gee, I'm happy to be back.
We need to start over.
All right, here we go then.
You can talk about
West Side. No. All right, yo. We've been off. What was our last episode? It's 13, episode 13. We had Dot and Tay on the pod, I think. Super dope. Want to say I appreciate them for coming on and acting a fool with us, kind of sharing some of the responsibility of the foolishness we were speaking.
You just needed other people to put it off on. That's literally the only reason why they existed for the last episode.
What other reason do you have friends? I enjoyed that podcast probably more than anybody else because we got to really do some truth telling that these niggas don't be doing, especially in our city. No.
I'm gonna drink my water.
Okay, all right. God bless the people in our city. But yeah, man. And then this episode, I'm really excited about. We got two guests. We had two guests last episode, but actually, them niggas wasn't really guests.
They be here with us.
Yeah, like, you know, we can call them anytime. I do want to say, shout out to our city. I'm praying for our city. There's been a lot of niggas dying, man. Like this, first of all, death has been crazy. Just
running rampant.
I just did a funeral, or not did a funeral. I left a funeral Friday from my uncle's wife's father, and then before that it was my uncle, and then before that it was my cousin, or actually my cousin was right after my uncle, and then my wife's dad, and like
back to back.
I still ain't got over my mom from last year. So it's like, you know, stuff is crazy. And I'm just praying for everybody.
Definitely.
Like, niggas just need prayer. And love and light.
Niggas just need prayer. I need that on a t-shirt.
No, niggas need prayer.
It's the truth, though.
I do need that on a t-shirt. Because niggas be praying, though. So...
You pray?
I pray, you pray. Who sang that song?
Do you pray?
Who sing it? Somebody say it.
Do you get through?
I pray, you pray, you pray. That's a terrible song. Who sings that?
Do you get through?
Is it like CeCe Winans?
Doesn't matter. I hate that song.
I pray, you pray. It's a terrible song. I never wanted to hear CeCe Winans sing, by the way. I would love to see her sing, though. Let me tell you.
Stay dry.
God bless her. I don't know how. She like 60.
You need to go get your lap scarf from the other.
I don't know how old she is, but I think she up there. But let me tell you something. If she called me late in the midnight hour, my wife gonna have to relax. All right. No, don't even do it. Listen, episode 14. We're coming up on another milestone, the BRSP, which is 15. Do we count 15?
We can count 15.
I don't know. We probably should wait till 20.
Okay.
But 15 is still...
20 got to be raw. We can acknowledge 15, but 20 got to be raw.
Yeah, whatever, I guess. Patreon is coming. These free videos on YouTube will not last always. They're similar to Trouble. They won't last always. Listen, y'all gonna have to pay us very, very soon. And rightfully so.
This is quality content.
Good quality content, and we're giving it to you for free.
Free.
On YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Buzzsprout, wherever else, Stitcher.
Stitcher.
But yeah, the video is going to be behind a paywall, and I think we're worth that.
Yeah.
Word?
Pay me for my emotional distress of doing this.
First of all, if anyone has emotional distress, it's our parents from watching this filth. Listen, we have two guests on the pod.
Jesus.
That's actually long overdue, even though we're only at 14. They've been on a list that we have.
For a long time.
Trying to figure out how we're going to plug them in to an episode.
And God made a way on accident.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, not even really an accident, but... So originally, we were supposed to have one of the guests before we were supposed to have one of them. Mm-hmm. And then we had a conversation, and there was like a light bulb moment because the guest that we were supposed to have happens to have a brother.
Happens to have a brother.
Happens to have a brother that do kind of the same stuff, well, but different. Y'all will understand in a minute. So our guests.
Completely different. But
completely different. Like
super dope in a sense of like, in my family, I'm the only, like I'm a musician in whatever else I do, and there's no one else. And so like I can't, my little brother and my older brothers are like music illiterate, and so is my father, and so was my mother.
Love your dad.
And like my wife is not like a musician or a singer or anything. So like, yeah, niggas be out here by themselves. And I'm all alone, and it's depressing. But so it's really dope when you have that dynamic of, you know, like you have a brother or sister, because we can get into your sister too, like just creatives. And like I wish I had that, because I don't, because my brothers and sisters are trash. And I love them all with the love of God, amen. But yo, who we got? You want to introduce, I guess?
You just said
I mean, what? I thought. Look, we came to pod today. We've been off for 2 weeks.
Let me get this off real quick.
Oh gosh.
Before we bring our guests on, just a real quick business thing. The Backroom Speaks is still looking for an alternative co-host. Don't fucking touch it.
You can talk about it, West Side. Okay, we don't do that when we have guests, but Lisa always tries to replace me for some reason, and I just restart the podcast.
Send me your resume at elisa@backroomspeakspod.com. That is my real email.
Start the podcast. West Side, yeah. In the back room of the room. Listen.
Mama.
Our two guests that Lisa was supposed to introduce. One is a singer. Well, actually, both of them. Both of these niggas are singers.
This is weird. How about we bring them?
Yeah,
just let them introduce themselves.
I mean, we got. First of all, are we? We got Shakale Davis.
Shakale Davis, all the way from up the street.
All the way from up the street. We got Mojo.
I was finna pull out the government.
I didn't see. I wanted to respect you and go straight to the artist name, because I knew Lisa would probably try it. But yeah, we got Shakale Davis and Mojo, and we are super excited to have them on the pod. Welcome to the pod, guys.
Yo, it's good to be here, man. Happy to be here kicking it with y'all.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Yeah, yo, Shakale sounds so formal and so hello. Thanks for having us.
Oh my god,
we're gonna get into Shakale's, because I was talking to Lisa before. Maybe we should.
While I was trying to take my nap.
Maybe we should wait until we get. First of all, I do want to ask each one of you individually a very serious question, and I know I kind of asked already, but with a real answer. With everything that's going on, how are you for real?
That's a good question. I'm doing all right. You know, I'm kind of just focused on goals, really. I don't really get distracted by outside things. I know sometimes tragedy comes and you just gotta deal with it. Mm-hmm. But my focus is just on my moves and just bettering my moves. So, yeah, any glimpse of outside distractions or outside detriment, I just do the best I can to stay focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah. Shakale?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and retweet that. I'm doing all right personally. I'm, if you hear my voice right now, it's a little scraggly because I just had a gig last night, but I'm really trying to get, this music thing done. Me personally, I have been doing a lot of other things for other people. And so I'm trying to focus on what Shakale's music sounds like and actually putting it out and actually being consistent with that. Yeah. So that's kind of been my main focus. And of course, there's, roadblocks and things that get in the way that are very annoying and uncomfortable or just, unfortunate. But, we're moving. We're keeping it going, persevering. That's the word.
We're persevering.
Come on, man.
Oh, I just love that.
I just love that. That is amazing.
Drops for days.
Lisa, first of all, I don't even think, I'm sorry, because I'm extremely rude. We haven't potted in 2 weeks. I didn't even ask Lisa, how are you doing? Niggas good?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right. Well, I'm fine. I'm fine. God has been good to me. Okay?
All right, let's get into some questions before this turns into.
No, you know what? I've been seeing a lot, dealing with a lot, but I'm okay.
Got your beard back.
I'm okay.
I really haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Oh gosh, man.
I haven't seen him. I ain't talked to the man in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been weird. I shaved my face completely. I look like a pedophile for a little while.
You're an idiot.
I was a little pedophilish, but it was terrible, and I should not have done it. My beard got pretty long, and I decided to just cut it, and it was the worst mistake. If you watch last episode, you'll get a glimpse of it.
It was hilarious,
but yeah, it wasn't really great. I look like this. If anybody ever seen the Santa Claus movies,
has anybody ever seen Kim Possible and Rufus, the Naked Mole Rat? Anybody?
Yeah, that fuck.
Can I get one witness?
I didn't plan on cursing this episode. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you guys are. I'm glad to hear you guys are doing well. It's great to hear. I do want to ask. I mean, both of you have the same answer, obviously, but for the viewers and listeners, where are you guys from? Specifically, don't just say Chicago.
I claim the West Side.
Oh, come on, man.
West Side. Yeah.
Come on, man. We love the West Side. Right? Wait, so I heard you say you claim the West Side. I feel like there's some undertones there. There's something that we're missing.
I mean, because my parents definitely intentionally moved us away from the city. Mm-hmm. So the most of my life I spent living in Oak Park. But as far as going outside and doing what you want to do and hanging out and kicking it, I'd be out west.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of my life, I lived in Oak Park, which is still west. It's a west suburb.
I mean, it's literally it was walking distance from my neighborhood. So,
for sure. So that's why I say claim.
Yeah. Well, we like the West Side over here. We're very fond of the West Side. I appreciate one that we got because I feel like every guest we've had, other probably than your pastor, have been these wild Southsiders. We don't want them on the podcast too much. Shout out to K Will and even Dot now. Dot is a Southsider now.
Oh, Jared.
That nigga. Yeah, he's terrible. Shout out to Mimosa Sosa. But yeah, it's good to have West Siders on the pod because we don't have that much. We have these dirty Southsiders on here.
Actually, really quick, random side note.
Oh no.
These guys are the reason that I know Jared.
Through their church. Oh, wow.
Church
Okay.
years ago.
All right.
Oh, look at
Jared when he was still.
Dot-
I'm not going to tell
Dot
him.
is like
Well,
a
come on
big
and
brother.
come on and connect the dots.
Well, connect.
Come on, man. I'm here all night. I don't even know how I do it. Yo, so
Dot like a big brother to me, for real.
yeah, that's my guy, man. My brother for real. Which is crazy because the first time I stepped foot, we're gonna get into like your upbringing and church and all those things, but like I remember because of my relationship with Dot is how I came into your church like however many years ago.
10 at least.
It had to be 10. I went for a concert. No, Dot had his drum showcase there. Then I went to Shakale's concert, which we're gonna talk about.
All right. Oh my God.
But I do want to start with upbringing.
Who are you?
Like, yeah, that's a good question.
Who are you? We asked how are you. Now who are you? So whoever wants to go first, share a little backstory on your life and time. You know.
That's such a broad question.
I know.
Who? Well, in to put it simply, I'm Shakale Davis,
Hi, Shakale.
and I am a singer, lover of the Lord. People person. Social butterfly, if you will. I like interacting with folks. No, but on a serious note, I think that a good answer to your question is that I am a person that is constantly evolving. I am a person that is always becoming a person.
Love that.
Whenever you meet new people, it's just a whole new stamp on your environment, on your outlook, on your perspective, on everything. Mm-hmm. So I like to consider myself a sponge, and I'm just taking life in as it comes.
Word. Word. I like that. I like always evolving.
Always evolving. Need that on a t-shirt too.
Facts. Evolve or die, man.
Forgive me for chuckling. Kale get animated sometimes, and it's always
you love that.
It's always a little funny for me. For me, my answer is a little more complicated. For me, it took a while for me to even know the answer to that myself, for real. And I'm still developing the answer to that myself. I don't know. I'm still learning and developing who I am. All I can say is I'm just constantly improving from the person that I was. And I don't plan to ever stop growing. So that answer will never be definitive. It's an answer that moves.
Love that.
So it depends on when you ask me.
I love it. And that's okay. I think that that sounds, when you say that, sometimes it sounds a little, it may sound weird to some people, and some people may judge it incorrectly. But there's nothing wrong with finding yourself. There's nothing wrong with always evolving. I feel like unless you're evolving, you're dead. Okay. That's just literally what it is. I feel the same way in a lot of things, especially things that I'm going through right now in life. It's kind of made my identity completely almost unrecognizable to myself because still learning myself. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that'll always be, and that's a good place to be too. You're not growing, you're dying, or you're dead.
One thing I kind of want to give Lil Bro props on, as far as who he is or who he's becoming, is that in areas growing up where I struggled with my identity, there were areas where he stood firm, and I always respected him for that. So I kind of just want to say that on a public platform, that there were areas where I succumbed to like peer pressure, influence, niggas around me.
Sure.
He may have dealt with that in certain areas, but he always stayed true to who he was.
Oh my goodness!
I might go to school with all, like, in my era, 50 Cent was huge. Like, we was all trying to we was all 12s trying to be 50, if that was making any sense. But we all had our white beaters on that looked like bulletproof vests and whatnot. So even though I was a church kid, I'm coming up around gangsters. I kind of leaned towards being that for a little while. Same thing when it came to something else. But Lil Bro never wavered. He was always who he is. And I always respected him for that. I appreciate that.
We're going to talk about that.
That was so sweet.
Thanks.
I love the giving of the flowers so early in the episode. This is
right. Like
this is monumental here.
I didn't even bring any tissue.
You didn't bring any tissue. All right, it's okay. Man, ain't got nothing for you. Listen, I first of all, I really love that you said that. I feel like if my brothers were here, they would say the same thing about me. I'm lying. They would never say that about me. However, actually, I can't say that about any of my brothers either. They're all terrible people, and they are the most greatest human beings in the world. I love them all. But
I just won't comment.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that a little bit, Shakale? To your brother's credit, like to your brother's point, how hard is that? Because I feel like, man, that's based on what I'm talking strictly on what he said, because I don't follow you every day or, know what you're doing every day. But from what he said, from what Mojo said, I can relate to that, because there's a lot of times where, like, coming up, I hung with a certain crowd. I was around people, and I was a church kid. My parents aren't pastors, but I'm a pew baby, if there's a word for that, right? Like, I'm in church from a baby to right now. I just left, right? But those identity issues when you're going to school and being influenced by peers or whatever, just outside world. I'm a big hip hop head. So like Mojo, like 04, 05 when Get Rich or Die, 04, Get Rich or Die Trying dropped. Like, come on, man. Like, it was crazy.
That was a crazy time.
But that was a crazy time, because also we got College Dropout the same year. Speaking of which, Kanye needs to hurry up. I just wanted to throw that out there. But with that, it was hard for me to kind of maintain, this image I probably was supposed to have for a church, right? And me seeing you both, actually, like back in those early concerts, and both of you guys were singing, like, I was like, man, that's great. Like, I wasn't like that, but man, that's really dope. Like, for kids, I
hate to interrupt you, but little do you even know about that, about all of that time. Anytime.
No, you look like you were a terrible person during that time, Joe. I just want to be clear about that. You look like you shot somebody before you went and got and sang. But I hope I'm not incriminating anyone.
No, I'm not. Well, yeah, allegedly. But no, I think during that time, like I was saying before, like I'm a preacher's kid, so of course, growing up, you only have a certain level of say so. Especially in a black family, it really don't matter how old you get. You get a little bit more say so the older you get. But if mama, big mama, pops, if somebody say something, then it's that. Y'all know how that goes. So I could have been running the streets, really wanted to keep running the streets, didn't even really want to be at church a lot of times because all my homies was on the block. Everybody, I'm missing all the action. I'm missing all the fights, everything going on in the streets. So yeah, I might have been at church, but for years, I had one foot in and one foot. I was really living a double life. So yeah, it's not crazy for you to say, yeah, I look like a horrible person. I probably really was a horrible person.
Well, I obviously said that in jest, but I mean, speak to that a little if you can, Shakale. Like, what did that? Because I don't know. Your answer may be like, I really wasn't that great of a person. I don't know, but
I mean, everybody has their ups and downs. Everybody has their seasons of growth.
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't ever running the streets or anything like that. However, we've all had our moments of doing whatever the environment called for it to be. Mm-hmm. Me personally, a lot of kind of my solidness growing up, just as far as like who I was perceived to be was based off the fact that a lot of I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I didn't have a lot of good social interactions around me going to school. It was a lot of just hard, just very difficult going to school, meeting people, talking to people, interacting with people, fighting people, all this other stuff. It's always something, and to go through that and then you're living in a house where it's like Jesus, 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 and that's great, but it's finding yourself within that, like, okay, how do I take that and apply that to my life, because I'm out here struggling right now. Like, I am so insecure as growing up. So much insecurity came from just me trying to figure out how to interact with people in a way that people would want to, be my friend, or, whatever the case was.
Yeah.
And I saw, my brother, doing his thing. And I was like, okay, well, I personally just can't do that. So I got to figure something else. I got to figure something else out, because, yeah, that's not for me. So what is for me, and I tried a bunch of different things growing up. I briefly tried to get on the basketball team one time.
What?
Wait, whoa.
Yeah,
wait.
it was.
So, okay, before you finish that, I want to kind of stay here. I'm a huge basketball fan. So, like, did you, like, play, like, recreationally at some point and, like, was like, man, I'm going to try for the team? Or it was just...
Now, Shakale, I didn't...
No, I'm telling you.
I didn't know that.
One day. I mean, hey, that's what I'm telling you, constantly evolving. But I was
Christ.
like, yeah, let me do this. I'm going to try to go and try out for the basketball team. And let me tell you how unequipped I was for that. I literally called it auditioning for the basketball team. This is how, like,
oh my God,
removed from that environment I am. I was like, yeah, I came to audition for the basketball team. And they were like, what?
Yo, I love
Mind
that.
you. And I grew up a very, chubby kid, still that way. But, those physical activities, things like that was never for me. You know, the only time you was going to see me run is if I was running from a dog, the police, something like that. Like, but I wasn't going to recreationally
what are you
run.
doing?
I'm just saying in general.
Gosh.
Yeah, I tried a lot of different things to try to figure out where to fit in.
Yeah.
Some things worked. Some things worked for a season. Some things did not work at all. But yeah, you just gotta keep figuring out.
I love it.
That definitely threw a wrench in my whole operation.
Yeah,
just now,
I'm gonna cut this part out.
Audition.
Actually, I'm gonna cut this part out for your audition for the basketball
audition
team.
for the basketball. I'm not gonna let you live that down.
I love.
Meanwhile, your brother was actually, I guess, he had a role in the basketball team. He was casted for a role.
No, he was casted.
He was casted for
a principal player.
I mean,
what?
Wow. I love that. That is amazing. I don't think we've heard anything better than that.
I've never, and in my 10 plus years of knowing them, I did not know that Shakale auditioned for the basketball.
It was really brief. It was really brief.
That's going to be funny every time I hear it. That's funny every time.
It was obviously a limited series.
I hate it.
All right.
Did it make it to Broadway? Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Look, always evolving. I love it. Well, it seemed like you guys turned out all right. What if y'all think y'all turned out okay? You think you good? I think you're working it out.
I think for the most part, got a few tweaks in there.
I mean, listen,
yeah, pretty good.
So now, like, even with all of like the backstory of like, navigating identity crisis or identity triumphs, if you will. I like identity triumphs. Write that down.
Me too.
Just like kind of fast forwarding to now, like both of you guys, like, I'm saying like a lot. I said I was going to stop doing that. Fast forwarding to now, both of you all are in your adult life, navigating things pretty well. in two different parts of the world right now. We won't disclose. Don't even worry about it. But, you know, as far as like now, like the music that you're doing right now and even just your lives right now, like do you think like with your upbringing, and I'm really trying to get into the music portion too. I really like love
I think I kind of get to what you're going. Like, what's crazy is like, I think.
Did you expect to be doing this right now?
That's a good question.
Honestly, I didn't. I never wanted to. For a long time, I didn't want to do music.
I could tell.
No.
I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but go ahead.
It's not that I didn't want to do music. I didn't want to sing. I didn't want to sing at all.
But
That's really what it was.
That's
I had no problem being a rapper. Or if I was going to pursue music, it was probably going to be rap. I know I sang within the church, but that's like.
Can I pause you?
Like I said, I was in two different lives at the same time.
Let me pause you really quick, Mojo.
Shoot.
I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this when we have guests. I remember coming to your church and seeing you guys sing. So whoever, I don't know your entire family. I know who I know, right? So I know Shakale singing. I know, well, Mojo's singing, right? I got to get used to calling you that. And then whoever else I know is like your other siblings, right?
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you something. This nigga never smiled. He was up there.
Right.
I can't even think of a song. I was trying to think of like the most common song to sing, but pissed off. Like he didn't. That nigga didn't want to.
But was killing.
No, I never wanted to.
But what he was holding, he was holding that part down though.
Was killing.
But he didn't look like he wanted to. I was like,
nah, never really wanted to. But that's just like I said, just growing up, like R&B was cool, like right before the peak of my adolescence. Like probably R&B was cool when like Usher dropped Confessions. That was like the huge R&B record for like probably like the next 5 years or so.
And that made you want to do it?
Nah, that was the last time that it was like acceptable in peer groups. Like, you know, when you used to go to do parties and you was gliding across the floor.
I got you.
That's what Usher was doing.
I got you.
But then 50 came out and it was no longer cool to be a singer. That wasn't the move. And then it just started growing from there. It started getting worse and worse. And, you know, just growing up in the city. But to connect it all to the music, what I was trying to say was that it's really crazy that if you listen to my music and Shakale's music, you can kind of like just hear the differences in who we are and our different experiences. And it kind of, after this interview, if somebody would happen to go listen to our music after that, it would click. It would make total sense.
Oh, we're gonna plug it. We're gonna definitely plug your music for sure.
We were just talking about.
I appreciate that.
I want to go to the music. I really want to get out some nerd stuff first. And I'm sorry, we're 33 minutes in. We're going to get to it, but I want to talk about, because I made references already to seeing you guys a long time ago.
I don't know where he's going with this.
She has no idea. She has no idea.
Why do we rehearse?
We don't. But like seeing you guys, this is kind of tied into that same question a little bit, but I remember being, because I was at the time I was running around with Dot. I'm still running around with Dot, but I was running around with Alonzo Berry, right? And when
that's my guy too.
You know, during that time, so we're talking 2009, 2010.
Jesus.
Like we
y'all didn't know.
Yeah.
21. I don't know what you're talking about.
So around that time, I'm running around with them, and I'm singing. I'm not even a singer. I'm singing with these niggas for no reason, or doing whatever. And they were talking about this kid who writes and sings and does all this stuff. It's talking about Shakale Davis. And then I go to this concert, and I see Shakale Davis. I see just Davis. I see, that's when I saw Mojo looking like he didn't want to be there and he wanted to kill everybody in the church. And then, but seriously, I seen what, like, the joint was, it was amazing back then. Like, I don't know if you were aware of this at the time, but people were really kind of talking very highly of you guys, right? Like at that time. And so, and there's a video that came up in memories not that long ago.
Oh, you idiot. I got you.
Of a concert that me and Alonzo were doing, or with the group we called ourselves having at the time, and Shakale was on the program to sing. And it
2
was
feet tall.
It was funny. It was just a funny thing.
Oh my God.
But to see,
please send this to me.
it's so bad. It's so bad. But you were doing like original music. And this was a long time ago. So it's like 10 years ago, right? We'll say.
Okay.
He was 2 feet tall. Said it.
And then seeing now you guys both are artists doing completely different music. Like I said all that, I know it's a long, boring story, but I said all that to say, like, how does that feel coming from church, basically? I mean, like you church kids, mother, father, preachers, all that stuff. Like, does it feel weird to you? Because I know you probably, I don't know what your aspirations were as a kid. I know Mojo just said, you know, he didn't want to sing, right? He probably wanted to do rap, which he's kind of doing now. He's kind of doing a mixture of both. But like, is it weird at all to you? Like, do you look at your parents and feel a way? Like, ashamed at all? Are you nervous about it? Like when you came to them with this, like, what does that look like? I don't know what that feels like.
Look, bro, you go ahead. I feel like I've been hogging the answers. You go ahead.
Sure. For me, there was a kind of transitional period from singing gospel to singing R&B, right? When I went to high school, I was doing a lot of jazz, and growing up, I was just always involved in, you know, musicals or classical music or jazz and things like that. So it wasn't completely polarizing for me to sing something that wasn't necessarily gospel. But that's kind of where that's where I used to kind of live as far as writing and things were concerned. But going back to a point that I made earlier, just kind of figuring out God in my life, like how does that translate? Something that my dad, you know, will always say is like, gospel music is not the only music playing in heaven. Like God doesn't only like, you know, Christian music.
I like that.
There's R&B singers.
Don't tell my mama that.
Lord.
Don't tell my mama that. I mean, she will cuss my grandma. She will cuss you out. What you mean? It ain't only okay. Go ahead.
I mean, you know, Jesus probably liked Beyonce too.
Hey,
so.
Come on, man.
You know. But yeah, I kind of, you know, as far as when I started evolving into R&B, I definitely took from jazz. Like I was doing so much jazz in high school. Thank you. I take that as a compliment because I freaking love jazz. So thank you. But yeah, right now it feels like two separate life experiences. Like you talking about the concerts that you were going to of mine when I was young. Like I really have to sit and try to remember what you're talking about because it's completely like, I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's just a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to, you know, as I'm growing up as a man, as a Black man, as a musician, I have to incorporate what my life looks like now. You know, I'm not going to write about the same things at 8 years old that I'm going to write about when I'm 16, 17. Right. So we kind of, you know, just gravitated here. And my whole thing in my writing process, as far as like lyricism, at least, is to reach people, you know, wherever they are and using my experiences to kind of connect with other people. And hopefully, you know, you'll get the message of what I'm saying when I'm telling you what I went through or what I was feeling or what I was thinking. And that might help you kind of figure out what you're thinking or overcome what you're thinking or whatever the case may be. So as much as it's R&B, it just is what it is. I don't even have a label for it myself, if I'm being honest. But yeah.
I feel it.
For me, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I agree. I feel him on that because I felt the same way with the music I put out. Like I can't call it one or the other, or
you
rap. Like
by the way,
it's.
by the way.
Oh come on! Thank you.
By the way.
Appreciate that.
You do your thing. You do your thing, big dog. I ain't gonna front.
I appreciate that. If anybody says it, that's amazing. But go ahead though.
For me, it's a lot different. It was a lot different just because we not a rap house. Like it's people might listen to what's hot on the radio, but I was really the only, maybe my big sister Jam, but I'm really the only super, I know the words to all of the rap lyrics type of person in the crib. So that was always a little bit different. But I think the fam accepted that of me a while ago. And I just think as I got older, certain life experiences, I started just like sprinkling into conversations with my parents and with my siblings. Certain things that I kept from them, like that other life I was talking about. Mm-hmm. Once I started getting a little older and establishing myself as a man, they would just come up in conversation. Oh yeah, I know how to, just telling on myself, and they'd be a little bit shocked and a little bit, thrown off. But as a result of that, it's not shocking.
Not me. I knew what was going on the whole time.
Yeah, little bro is little bro. He knew all my secrets for a long time. But I think through me, like kind of sprinkling in different incidents, different situations I've been in and had to go through, it's no longer shocking when you hear it in my music. Mm-hmm. Because most of the vast majority, actually, I'm going to say everything that I write is real. It's not made up. So it might be a little enhanced for the purposes of reaching people, but it's all based off true stories. So as a result of me just telling my life story to my parents and to my siblings that they didn't know that I was even going through, they kind of expected in the music. And on top of everything else, my parents are just super supportive. They are super supportive. I might have felt a little bit away when I first started making music because I'm like, you want to respect your parents and all that. And I told my pops, like, he was like, man, I know you cussing. Let me hear it. He was like, let me hear it. So it was kind of like, that was one of the first things that made me like a little nervous. Like, I'm over cussing.
Yeah.
My pop's going to want to beat me. He was like, man, you a grown man. I respect what you're doing. Let me hear it. Let me check it out. So it was very early on.
That has to be the best feeling in the world, by the way.
Best feeling in the world. And my pops, it was me that was like, man, pops, I know you a preacher. I know y'all preachers. Don't feel like y'all got to post about me making my music on Facebook. Don't feel like y'all got to share my stuff. I know y'all got to do it.
I saw your mom. Yeah. Like, I actually had a question about that, about like from both of you, because I think, I'm sorry,
No, go for it. It's fine.
One of my questions was about, to you, Mojo, about like performing live that time, and I saw when it happened, and I think I saw it. I saw it from like I think Sherry's page,
probably.
And but like the family came out, and like that's like your mom was there, like I'm like yo, like that's something that like I like when I started doing this pod. Oh, before I started doing this pod, like when we did live shows, like to have my pops come out, like to a live show we were doing, like that meant the world, because I know he don't care about this stuff at all. Like he don't have a music. At least your mom is a singer and like put out music before. Like my dad is music illiterate, like no rhythm, a black man, no rhythm, can't sing a tune at all. But he's just literally coming for the sake of supporting his son. And that means everything. And so to have that, like, how does that feel? Because I know both of you get it, but I want to say to Mojo, like it's a little different, right? Because
it's a little different because of my content. Like
exactly,
it's like it makes me feel liberated to just keep doing what I'm doing and just grow from it creatively. And I don't have to worry about disappointing anybody. Like I had a conversation with my mom and my pops one time, and I basically telling them like, I know y'all only church people follow y'all. I'm not trying to ruin y'all reputation. It was like, you're our son. They church members. We ain't gonna like they'll never trump what you doing. If they don't like it, they can unfollow us. They can leave the church, but we gonna support our son. And that just made me feel like it's no better feeling than that, honestly. I don't even know how to describe it, but it makes me feel amazing.
It's not a common thing, man. Like, as much as you would think, like that's like you sit from a privileged place in that, because a lot of people, and it don't even got to be that. Like, you think of a lot of people who have lifestyle issues, if we want to call it that, or people have issues with their, like, your lifestyle. Say if I'm a drug dealer or whatever, like, my family's gonna. Oh well, say if I shut up. Say if I was a drug dealer, or I don't know, then you got people like with different things, whatever your thing is, right? Like, and I've seen families throw niggas away for less.
Yeah, it's true.
And then you talk about like being a rapper or a singer who's not necessarily doing gospel music, and then your parents are preachers and pastors and whatever. Like, it's not the common thing for them to still support you, minus or without caring about, you know, losing a following or losing a couple members from the church. Like, that's not a common thing. Like, we see people throw their kids away for that all the time. It's like, oh, you want to go sing the devil's music? And go on then. Sing the devil's music. Like, I said I love the girl. Why are you tripping? But yeah, like, I think that's really dope. And I'm happy that you guys have that, because it gives it one thing. I mean, this is the very space for creatives, right? Like, I love creatives creating, number one, but I love that being free to create is another thing. So many times, like, I can tell, we talked about that on episode 5, I think that was 5, where the parents of millennials had it all wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of times, like, although my father supported me in everything, he didn't know how to support me in everything. Like I was, the things that I was doing, Lisa being the talent that she was as a kid, her mother supported her, but probably they could have done so much. And God knows where we would be. Like, if we had that extra push, if they knew how to really water what we had so it can become, you know, whatever it could become, right? Like, but there's so many creatives who parents just don't care what they're doing. Like, I'm not going to they wouldn't even show up to the recital for school or whatever. Like, there are kids like that. I remember when I was doing piano recitals in school, or even my choral show, choral, I can't talk. But like choral competitions, all that stuff, like, I hated it. I hated when my father came to those, but like, it meant so much. Now when I look back, like, and there's a lot of kids that just don't have that, like, at all.
Thanks.
Yo, now that I look back, my pops and my parents in general, but really my pop, just because his personality is a little more outward. It's a little more, he's a little more loud when he shows his love. So it's not a diss, Ma, if you're watching, if I lean towards Pop. But I remember back in high school, I went to Holy Trinity High School. I don't know if y'all familiar with it, but super small school. Yeah. Super small school, right? And I was on the basketball team. I think I played a lot of basketball in high school, right? And at the time, my pops was slowly becoming paralyzed, but he didn't know. At the time, he didn't know what was wrong with him. He just had a lot of trouble walking. And it was just for years. It was happening for years. And my school had a gymnasium on the 3rd floor.
Impossible.
No elevator, 3rd floor, and my pops is struggling to walk, but he used to come to my games and climb them stairs to make sure I seen him at the games. So even as far back as I can remember, pops would have never let nothing stop him from supporting us. So that at this point, even though I was a little apprehensive about my content, I kind of expected it.
Yeah, that's dope.
So you mentioned something, and I can't remember what sparked, because we kind of took a tangent in like this last segment a little bit. But you mentioned something about, you know, like the conversations that you were having, you know, with your folks before putting your content out, Mojo. And this would be for Kill too. But I'm interested, like, did that, like, kind of, you said it freed you, it liberated you, that's what it was, and it made it easier for you to work and put your stuff out. So now I'm wondering, like, what is it, what is your creative process for both of you? Both of you are really evolved and very like, do I want to use meticulous here? Just really specific and like,
Fits.
It does fit. But just like, you can tell the intention and like what you put out. Like we were listening to, we were listening to Neverland, before you got on here, and we were just like,
that's my joint.
That's my joint. I got
joint.
the session on my.
Wow.
I got the session. I'm like, you niggas don't got the session. I got the
Wow,
session, and
TBT.
like even just the lyrical content, JJ. I'm saying JJ Mojo, and you've always been like that. Like just for years, you always had a way with your words. So both of you, like, if you guys want to like speak to your creative process, I want.
Yes, because Mojo was doing poetry back in the day, and people don't even know that.
Them niggas
so
didn't
Mojo
know.
had it with the spoken word. Okay, he had it.
I appreciate it, bro. But as far as creative processes go, I think I'm a little weird. I think.
Aren't we all?
Who isn't?
Yeah, I think I don't really have. I just need some peace and quiet and some music. And I'm like, as a rapper, like I always got a 16. And I got, but as far as like making music, that's a little different. Like, but with rapping, you can kind of rap about anything, throw a beat on it, and it be done as long as the bars are hard. But as far as like making a song, because that's different for me.
It's very different.
Making a song, it's more like, I don't make songs from scratch. I listen to beats. I listen to the beat and what do I feel like the beat is saying? If this song was a song as is, if it was just the beat and didn't have no lyrics, what would it be saying to me? So I kind of base it off the instrumentation once I feel like, okay, this beat is talking about a party. It's making me feel like it's a party record. All right. And then, just having a way with words, once I have a subject matter, then it's just easy, and I'll go from there. But yeah, and I also incorporate. I'm sure y'all know, but as much as I didn't want to sing, it's ironic how much I sing on my tracks now. Mm-hmm. Even though, yeah, I don't have a track that I don't sing on, so that's kind of weird. But
yeah, not that I've heard.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that it turns out like that. But growing up in church, like, you just develop your musical ear.
Church is just trash, ain't it? No, I'm joking.
No, I wouldn't say that. Honestly, I think all the best musicians come from church.
No, that's facts.
So it's like, yeah, can't say church is trash. Church is the father of music.
No, you're not. You're not wrong. The black church. Yeah, be very specific on that. Be very specific on that.
To add to that, though, sorry to interrupt you, but he kind of said something that I wanted to incorporate in my answer as well. Because there's some songs that I will, I'll have the idea how it goes in my head already, and then I'll get someone in to help me, flesh it out, instrumentation wise. Or there's other songs where I will have to listen to the track or listen to the beat and figure out what am I supposed to be singing about. Like Neverland, I had that frig written out from top to bottom. I had the chord progression in my head, like everything. I pretty much like produced that song too without producing it.
The writing is insane on that song.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
His writing is always, I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro, but I got to pick you up right here one more time. Your pen.
Somebody sent a nurse to us.
His pen is stupid. Especially because, like you said, like 10 years ago, he was doing original music. I don't know any stupid young preteen kids that's doing concerts with their own music, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, it's not happening.
The evolution from his pen from then till now.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane. I'm trying to get him to write me an R&B song because I can't write R&B.
Well, come on and sing.
Well,
does this mean another collab? Because
yeah, we gonna get to it.
Yo, honestly, the current collab, it wasn't even really supposed to be a collab. I had Lil Bro in the studio with me, and I was sitting on getting high for like a year. I've had this song pretty much done for like a year, trying to get it mixed right, and I'm still not even. Hey, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But Lil Bro was in the studio with me, and he was just like doing this thing. He's always singing, always throwing some runs and something. And he was like, "Man, you mind if I throw a little like motif on?" He
was more so a part of the track. It seems like he was like,
yeah. That was the goal. He threw some background vocal. He threw the background vocals on there, and I was just like, "Man, that'd be dope if we had that like throughout." It was dope. He's super talented, and his pen is ridiculous. And I think mainstream R&B should fear his pen.
I mean,
wow. Thanks, brother. Here's a hug.
That's a bar. I kind of want to stay on music because, and I want to get back to Getting High because
that's my favorite.
That it would have to be my favorite too. Before Getting High, I want to talk about another song of yours. Spaceships.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's my song.
That's one of my favorites, but it's not my audience's favorite.
Okay,
but that's cool.
It's a different. The sound of it is not. The sound of it to me is very different from the other records you have. Like it's not like Down Bad or Getting High. Like it puts me in the mind of Cudi. Right? I'm a big. Well, no, I take that back. I'm a big Man on the Moon fan.
Okay.
I'm cool on everything else that Cudi put out. But it puts me in that headspace. I want to talk about the meaning of it. Like what was you talking about on it?
Honestly, man, that song, I wrote that song around the time the George Floyd joints was going off crazy, around how everything was hyped around that towards the beginning stages of that. And I had just gotten with a brand new producer. That's why that sound it completely stands out. I didn't even like the beat. Like I was telling y'all earlier, I listened to the beat for a while and then I come up with melodies or whatever. I didn't even like the beat for a long while. And it just, I don't know. I just had it, the song pretty much just is talking about escaping the trauma from living where we live. Like I said, it all ties together. Like I was saying earlier, I spent time in the streets. Didn't have to, but I was kind of just influenced and wanted to be in the streets. But as a result from that, I saw so much bullshit, like saw so many traumatizing things. And it was just like, that song is about ways we escape. The different ways different people escape the trauma. But there's definitely traumas here. Like I have a line in there where I say, somebody to shoot some shots that won't alarm the police. Some people, I knew people that had to really take care of their whole family at like 15, 16. And the only time they could get some peace was coming to the court to hoop, being around the guys. But then they had to go play parent. And that's, those are pretty much stories of people that I know, some stories of my own, of having to deal with trauma and death and all of that that's being around you. I have just like you led this podcast off with, people always passing. That's a constant thing, especially if you spend any amount of time in the streets in Chicago. If you was there for a little while or you was there for a long while, you done lost somebody. You lost somebody that you put in some real intimate work with. And it don't even have to be work as in street work, but work as in building a relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
So that song is probably it's one of my favorites. It probably mean the most to me.
Yeah, it just stuck out to me. It stuck out to me because I think sometimes people get the messaging weird, like when you talk about escaping something, right? Because it's a dark record, kinda. Like, I mean, it's kind of dark. It was pretty dense, right? Like, and I'm like the king of dark. Like there's like I don't even know how to say it, but like it's. in my own music, it's not like happy go lucky, right? Like it's, people are trash, and that's basically what I talk about, right? Like, and with this though, it was dark in a sense because it was talking about all these things happening, and it was like, I need to get the hell away from here. With a lot that's going on, or with everything that's going on, like I feel like some people would take that, and that's why I wanted you to clear it up. I wanted you to actually say what you meant by it, because some people will take that away, right?
I had somebody approach me and was like, "Man, are you okay? It sounds like you about to get off yourself." I was like, I get that. I get that. I don't mean when I'm on the hook where I say I just want to fly away from here. I really mean the negative space.
Yeah.
I don't mean life.
And be clear, I don't believe that. I wanted you to clear that up for your audience, or for whoever's listening.
People approach me about that.
And I mean, yeah, I just wanted, like, trust me, I don't think you're gonna kill yourself. If I probably wouldn't have said it on air if I thought that. But
right.
But I think that with the music scene now, right? Like, there's a lot of people that are like sympathy baiting. Can I say that? Sympathy baiting? Or
sure.
Like
using trauma as a
they're profiting off trauma, like, and it's ugly. It's really ugly and nasty, and I hate it. And that's different, but I didn't take that from this song. That's why I wanted you to actually say what it meant.
Okay.
That's all that was. And also just me pointing out the difference in sound of, like I said, it reminded me of Cuddy. Like, just the sound. That was, I guess, the production or the beat, but dope.
Shout out to Moneybags for producing that record. That's the only song I got produced by him, and shout out to him for making it stand out the way it does.
Dope.
Yeah, for sure. All that.
We talked about Neverland.
Oh yeah. Now,
go ahead.
Let me pick on Kel real quick. So,
oh God,
let me take my glasses off.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So, you said something when we were like discussing creative processes. You said something like you already have like the chord progressions and like how things should go already. Nigga.
Oh God.
Do you realize like you can, again, like you said in your music, we can hear all of your influences. It's just, it's a no-brainer there. But like how modal you are, like how you...
It's not fair.
How you put things together, like... And not to... Me and Shakale talk often, so we have these types of conversations. But since we're having it here, I'm about to wear them out.
Oh my God.
What? Sit down, stupid. You don't get to leave. The times I could have left, now you want to leave. But help me out a little bit. Just where do you get these things from? And even more, and I'm going to tell you why I'm asking, like really digging into like how you put like your chords and stuff together. We listened to the cover you guys did. We listened to Borderline.
It's really not fair. God. It's not fair.
Now, granted, Neverland is pre-Borderline, but
right.
really pre-Borderline before that record was probably even thought about. But what are you doing?
Hold on, man. Because there's one thing. I just have a question. Inquiring
minds want to know. What is it? Is it crack? Is it like... I'm joking. I have to make light. What is it?
If it was crack, I'd be much skinnier. Mostly, but
I'm good.
Unfortunately, it was not. That's actually so nice. I don't know. Like, the thing about Neverland was how I wanted it to sound. Y'all ever seen that show, Once Upon a Time?
Are you
familiar with that show?
Yeah.
So basically, there was a storyline about Peter Pan, and the story of Peter Pan. He goes to sleep in Neverland and all that stuff. So when you first think about
So it
Neverland,
wasn't about Michael. Dang, it wasn't about Michael Jackson. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Who hired this nigga?
I'm sorry. Once upon a time, I had to get that off. I had to get that off. Sorry.
Head ass. I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm
my
looking
God.
for. Do any of you guys want to do this
All
with
right.
me?
Once upon a time, got you.
Get you some t-shirts.
Oh my God.
I was waiting for the right moment.
That was amazing.
That was terrible.
That was great.
Please,
Thank
Shakale,
you for
continue.
that.
Disregard the idiot in the room over here.
No, I have to regard it because that was a moment. But yeah, that song was. I wanted you to kind of feel the duality and the ambiguity behind like what you think a fantasy is and what actually goes into a fantasy and kind of being trapped in the fantasy. Mm-hmm. So that song is kind of about like, it's about escapism, but more than anything, it's about finding ways to cope that aren't good ways or good people to cope, or having good people around you, you know, that you think are good, that in turn you get a whole skewed, you know, vision of what your reality is or what you thought it was going to be, where you thought you were this whole time, what you thought was going on the whole time. So I wanted it to sound whimsical, as in like, yeah, I know what's going on. This is great. You know, this is a fantasy. Yeah. But I wanted it to sound like just underneath the surface is like, oh, frick, like what is going on? This is crazy. This is not ideal. This is scary. And this is like this is not what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So, you know, you have all of the whimsy with the chords, and you have all of the, you know, the melody kind of giving you that push and pull, that up and down of what goes on in your mind during those times. And that's kind of just what I was thinking about.
Actual trip. You said you're out on a trip.
I think it feeds. I think it feeds every. It has something for everybody, because like, as far as the writing, okay, like you're like 70, like you have to be like 70. He just, by the way, I don't want to brush past. I don't want to brush past. He just said, "Oh frick!" I don't know. I don't want to brush past that.
That's his word.
I just had to. That was amazing.
I use that now because of you, by the way.
But
as you should.
As heavy as the writing is, because. And it is. And I know we're going to talk about the newest record, too, because I know this came out a couple years ago. A couple years ago now.
Kinda, yeah.
Like, that, for me, you get everything. Because...
Read.
I'm trying to say the right thing.
Read.
So...
That was funny.
There are artists who I enjoy today. Not even super mainstream, like artists from the town, right? And I may love them as vocalists, but the songs they're singing are trash.
I'll say that.
So like the writing is not really. So it's like you're serving me with the vocals, like I got it. It's great. I'm not shunning anybody, because like, not that they're trash. I take that back. I have to stop saying that. They got on me about that for work. They got on me about that at work. I gotta stop saying the word trash. It's a habit at this point. But the writing is just not. It's not feeding me anything, right? Like,
there's no depth
at all, right? And it's like you want both. Like, I'm tired of. I listen to some artists for one thing, and then another artist for this. Like, there's some people I just want to hear them sing me to death. I don't care what they say. Right? Like, Layla Hathaway could sit at the foot of my bed and... First of all... just sing me happy. Right? And if she want to take it further, I mean, whatever. I don't know.
All right.
But no. But, you know, I could hear her sing all day. Right? But then there's... and she ain't even got to say words. But that's her, right? Like, there's some people that just, like, you don't get, like, you served every audience because the vocals are there, the dense core, like, music, the musicality of it is there. And then the writing is there. Like,
thank you.
That song is amazing. And I personally, it's a favorite of. It's like if I have to pick a favorite, I'm picking that one.
Wow.
But that's insane. That song's insane.
Just go grab all
That's
this
crazy.
stuff.
And that's where we at
All
with
that
that.
stuff.
Because we're obviously giving flowers on this episode. Cause
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
I do want to talk about getting high, and we're gonna talk about your latest one too, where you want to be. Because I have a gripe with that, and I'm going to tell you about that, Shakale. But I want to talk about getting high. When we mentioned it, both of you being together, like I think that's super dope. Like I said, I don't have a brother to get on the song with me, which sucks, or a sister for that matter. Hell, but this song, I counted 4 singles from you, Mojo.
You just need a project.
Where's the project? Number 1. Don't answer that. Don't answer that yet. But where's the project? But my actual question is, because I'm personally like when I write, I'm very cadence driven. Like I don't get really super deep in my writing personally. Because it's not like this is not my bag. I'll say I don't know. But I'm cadence driven. So like before I write, I got the cadence already. Like, and I'll record that. Like if I'm on a beat, I'll just record da 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 da, and I'll write to that cadence. I felt like I'm not saying that that's what you did on this song, but I love the cadence that you came out the gate with and stuck with on this song on the first verse. Of getting high, like what was was it the same process? I know you explained that earlier, but like was it the same process?
Let me start by just saying thank you. I appreciate it. Honestly, cadence has been one of my struggle points as I evolve as an artist.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out to my brother 100. He on the track.
On the second verse. Yeah.
But he's usually always in the studio with me, and he kind of has helped me find my cadence, my bag with my cadence, because I kind of, when I first started, I still was heavy on I'm not singing shit. I'm not a singer. I'm not. So I was kind of like over trying to rap everything. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't working. It wasn't working with everything. It worked with a couple of tracks, but nah, my homie Juan was just like, bro, you can sing. You tweaking. You need to fucking sing. Even if you're gonna sing in a way that, you know, that's kind of similar to the melodic rap nowadays, you gotta stop trying to act like you don't got that and embrace it. That's your bag. So go ahead and do that. So I kind of got to give him credit for that, because I kind of was trying to be Ab-Soul on everything, and you can't always do that.
And I love Ab-Soul. Shout out to TDE. Like, but we got him already. I got you.
Yeah, it just took me a while to come into that. But for Getting High specifically, how I came into that specific cadence, it's just kind of like the same way you did. I had the beat first, and I was just had the beat on repeat nonstop until I just found a little, a cadence that I liked. Yeah. And just wrote from there.
It's a dope record. I honestly want to say, like, this is the last record you put out. It just came out top of this month, right?
Yeah.
And there's not many people, because here's what I love to see, right? Like I'm talking a lot. But here's what I love to see. I love when I can see artists getting better.
I appreciate it, man.
So, I mean, with Shakale, we talked about him, like, where he's coming from as a kid to now he's a grown man putting out great music. And when I hear Down Bad,
it's so cringe, right?
But I mean, listen.
Jam.
But there are, like, when I see growth, like, or hear growth, like, That is amazing. Like, I can honestly say that Getting High, and no offense, but it's 20 times better than Down Bad.
I appreciate it.
And that is dope.
I appreciate it, bro. I'm not offended by that at all. I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I actually feel, and this is why the project is on hold, because I keep growing. So right now I had 4 or 5 songs I was going to put on the EP. It was supposed to already be out. That was the plan. Mm-hmm. But as I'm going over the songs, I'm like, I'm better than this now. This can't go on a project. So now I need more time in order to make sure the quality of songs, they all need to be around the same ballpark.
That's what Kanye doing right now.
Exactly. So I'm kind of, the project is on the way. There were songs that were on the project that are no longer on the project because it's just not good enough.
I feel you.
So Getting High is on the project though, just to give y'all a little.
It should be
glimpse of where I'm at and what I'm on. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not putting a date on it yet because I got to go back to the drawing board. There was some, especially like I was sitting on Getting High for like a year. Once I finally had it done, it was like, yeah, these other songs can't compete with this. Like, I got to do better than this. So I got a couple of more songs that accompanies Getting High on the project, but the project's still not done.
Dope. And
yeah, the unreleased stuff he has, I'm telling you.
No, we can't wait.
Up here, the bar is raised.
We can't wait.
High.
We can't wait to hear it.
I may or may not have insight. This is my other person.
You gotta join it.
Yeah, this is my other person. I gotta put some extra ears on. I was like, somebody I trust. I got you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me know. Get back to me about that.
I got you.
For sure. But yeah, project on the way though.
Project's on the way. We need. So here's what we need. So we need a full project from Mojo. Because he's ducking everybody and not giving us a full project.
We got an EP out of Shakale.
We got an EP out of Shakale, but single. I mean, it was in 2018. Come on, nigga.
So we also need.
Oh wait, I gotta talk about the newest single from Shakale.
Reed, that's what I said. We got a new single from Shakale.
So
it's hard.
I like it. I do like the song. I do like the song. I just needed drums. I'm joking. I just wanted to say it because
no, that's fair.
But no,
it's a very like melancholy song though.
So yeah, it is, and I think that I made a note of it because I have a bunch of records. Like even like the last snippet I put didn't have drums. I put up, but like I'm gonna actually be releasing snippets for a project, and why did I say that? All right, I'm gonna cut that out. But I'm working on a project, and
as you should.
I have like a few joints that have no drums in. It's gonna be completely different. It's not gonna sound like acoustic or anything, but they're not gonna have drums. And I'm like, it's probably gonna be weird for a person like me. I think your record was fine though. I couldn't get away with it because you're singing.
Thank you.
You are a singing ass nigga. Like that's really
80 though.
That's really where I was getting at because
happened for
Lisa kind of hinted at it, but something that I hadn't heard. It's apparently been up, but something that I hadn't heard was that the Borderline cover.
He looped this one run, and I kid you not, I'm gonna tell him and embarrass him a little bit. He was sitting at his computer while we were doing our prelim stuff. And he looped this run that you did. It was super modal and out of control.
It doesn't make sense.
It made us say the bad words, but he looped it like 11 times.
Oh my God.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, man. Your
ears.
It's acrobatics. And first of all, that entire cover was completely unnecessary. That's what I was telling Lisa, by the way. Because I have no problem saying it to your face.
Borderline is already a lot.
It was the most unnecessary acrobatics ever, but
oh my gosh!
Why not? Like it was insane, and it was like stuff that I hate when people say that. It was like, man, I was thinking about that. Like, you wasn't, but it was stuff that I do here. I can't do it, I can't do it at all.
He did try. He tried to run.
I can't do it at all, but like it was like, man, nobody would ever touch that. And this nigga just
touched
like and yo, the stuff you guys did on there. The other guy too. I don't remember his name.
Tyler. So
I mean,
he's amazing.
Because there was actually a part. The part that I kept looping was. It was close to the end.
They both had 2 crazy runs back to back.
Nah,
you might as well just play it.
Nah, y'all crazy, man.
Might as well just play it.
Oh my god.
Hold on. That's not it. That's right before this.
Wait, Tyler came right back over.
You niggas are insane. Like that makes no sense. God. Makes no sense. Like you should not be able to do that.
Can one of y'all tell him that he might be? Now me, I'm biased. I tell him he's the greatest vocalist that I know.
That may be true.
I don't know nobody that can touch him.
That may be true. I mean, counter it.
That's really
I don't know.
Oh my god,
that's really what I'm saying.
What I will say is that I stay out of those debates because I feel like if I'm gonna call somebody the greatest, it better be me. I'm joking. It's not
no,
me.
You're not wrong.
No. But no, though. Like, here's what I'll say. I don't know who can do what I just played.
Me neither.
What's that Justin LeBoy little gift they got coming out now?
Although I know one person who could possibly do that. I don't know if she could. I think.
I mean, hey, everyone is capable of doing everything.
Okay. Yeah, it's not that easy.
And
you pull up with your go vocalist, I pull up with mine. We're going to sing it off.
Put them in the ring or something. But honestly, like some of my most favorite vocalists for that caliber of work aren't even on the mainstream. I mean, we have a few, I won't get into my preferences. I don't want to get beat. Actually, try me. It's my podcast, though. But,
talk about it. Talkish.
But, like, some of these people... I just love that. God bless him. But, sitting at the dock of the bay, wasting time. But some of my most favorite vocalists are... The world doesn't even have a full understanding of who they are.
It's always like that.
And y'all are dropping gems that... will never make it on the radio because the average mind wouldn't be able to fathom what's happening. And that's like, and I'm going to kind of like speak to you guys a little bit too. Like if your stuff never makes radio, I honestly think that's amazing because it's just not simple enough. It's not watered down enough. You'll
Can I
never.
ask you a question?
You just did.
Well, I want to ask, bro, you just made me want to ask him this. You said if our music never hits the radio, that'll be amazing. I kind of want to ask, bro, what's his end goal for his music? Where does he want to be ideally?
You taking my question.
Clearly he's like.
Oh, I sent you my question. So I can take my damn question.
He's clearly the third member.
That's cheating. I'll kick your ass.
It's the third member of the Backroom Speaks.
Third member of the Backroom Speaks. I found my extra co-host. Thank you, Lord.
Gotcha.
That's a good question. I personally, I don't want to have any sort of limitations on what someone expects from me as an artist. Mm-hmm. Like right now, if you were to go through my, unreleased library, you would hear a bunch of different kinds of, music that some of it might be good for radio. Some of it might be good for, the underground crowd. Some of it might never see the light of day, but it's a lot of stuff going on. And not to say that I'm like all over the place as an artist, but I don't like to limit myself to what I'm supposed to sound like. because what my music does is just kind of talks about whatever's going on, and however that comes out is how it comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to stretch myself as an artist as well, just to make sure I'm always getting better or always getting different. It's, even if you're not getting better at something, it's one thing to do something the same exact way. It's another thing to be able to do it differently, to be able to do it, comfortably while comfortably and uncomfortably and everything. Just constantly evolving. Like, I'm not going to sing the same song the same way every time I sing it.
Yeah.
Which means I'm not going to write the same song the same way, as I would write another song. So I don't have a specific goal. I think that I want to reach as many people as I can reach, whether that be through radio for some people, through, just features or, writing credits for some people, whether that be through the, core group of people that will listen to me and follow me on my musical journey. That's as many people who can connect with what I got going on is my goal.
Love it.
I love that.
Love it. We're an hour and a half in.
This is an
hour 26 in.
I know I said 45 to an hour, but we just got here.
Yo,
somehow.
I mean, it works. It works for me. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. I do want to ask. This is kind of lined up with that question. Like, both of you are releasing music independently right now. Actually, like, if the opportunity came at this point, like, do you think about possibly signing to a major at all? Like, is that even attractive anymore to people?
I want to say no, but at the same time, independence will only get you so far. It'll only get you so far. I don't think I will sign for financial gain. I don't think they could put a dollar aside.
Just the machine.
A dollar. Yeah, I don't think they could put a dollar in front of me and be like, and that made me go, oh, yeah, I'm a sign. Because I also know what come with that. The bigger the dollar amount you want me to sign for that's the loan you want me to pay back. I already understand that. So it's not ideally financially. However, signing to a juggernaut label can get more eyes on you, can get your music heard in certain places. So I'm not pressed to tell no artist like that signing to a label is always bad. I will say do your research. I will say know your business, know the business.
Yeah.
And it's a case by case basis. What might be great for somebody might be great to sign a $10 million record deal. That might work for them. But it would have to be the right situation under the right circumstances with the right splits, all of that, in order for me to be like, okay. But I'm not going to sign just to be thirsty to be a part of a label, because I know what actually comes with that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I'm at this point, doing things independently for me yields me a lot more access to experimentation. And a lot of record labels will want to put you in a box and not necessarily, they want to, be able to promote you. They want to be able to market you in this specific market, this specific area. Whether that means, that doesn't always mean that they don't want you to be experimental,
right.
But if I'm working on, mainstream R&B with the label, that's all they want me to be working on for the next, 2 albums. And then maybe I'll be able to, step out into my creativity or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least my understanding and what I've seen and heard and, have listened to from other artists. So I'm not really, I would love to take the independent train all the way. I would love to have some more money to do it. And that's why labels are great. Yes and no, but
say that.
Yeah, it's not something that's attractive to me at this point. I think bring that to what you said.
I think both of you are right. Like both answers, like there's not a wrong answer to that. I think I'm more on the side of like, actually I hear both points. Like the money is great, but even not for that reason, just to get that machine behind the music to be pushed to be heard by whole lot more ears or to be seen by a lot more. But the freedom, the one thing I love about creating in my own studio or in my own room, like it's just the freedom, G. Like I'm doing whatever. I'm doing what I want, exactly what I want. If I want to just try something like the experimenting, like Shakale said, like you get to these labels and they want you to be a certain way. They want you to be a certain artist, whatever. Like I love doing what I want to do. I don't like niggas telling me what to do. Like,
Preach.
That's why I'm trying to quit my job now. But yeah, yo, we're hour and 30 minutes. We're 30 minutes in. Sheesh.
This is the longest.
Is it? I think so.
First episode wasn't this long. Maybe close.
The conversations go like this, though. It's all good.
That's a fact. Fact. Yo, I do want to plug. Even though we talked about the music already, I do want to plug the newest single by Mojo, featuring Shakale Davis. It's getting hot. Super dope.
Also featuring 100.
Featuring 100.
Don't you got a feature on one of his joints too?
Me and Juan, we got a lot of music together.
Okay.
Check us both out. I got a bunch of features on his joints. He got some features on my joints. We also got a song of mine called Juice. With her, we was doing some rapping on there. That's a fun record to listen to. I also was on his first EP. We got a song called So Close. That's a little bit of a deeper record to listen to. Me and Juan, that's my brother. This is my blood brother, and Juan is my brother. We all family, so we put in a lot of work together.
Dope. Shout out to him. So that's streaming everywhere.
Same
Please go listen to it.
Shakale just dropped Where You Want to Be.
Where You Want to Be. Streaming everywhere.
Everywhere. I love this.
It is available.
Y'all just dropping content back to back, loving on each other. This is beautiful.
Throwing flowers across the screen.
Throwing flowers across the room. Got hit in the eye with a rose or something.
All right. Yo, it's episode 14. I'm not mad at this episode.
I'm not mad at it at all.
I do want to say, stay on, guys. We're Patreon is coming. I know y'all gonna get sick of me saying that until it actually comes. But
I'm actually already sick of him saying it. But
I do want to say that Black music matters.
Thanks. We do this thing. Oh yeah, we do these things every week where we try to rock merch from Black-owned businesses that we know and love and support. And I happen to sing with this guy. Shout out to Adrian Dunn.
Shout out to Adrian Dunn.
Shout out to the Adrian Dunn singer. Shout out to I forgot the name of the orchestra. He's going to kill me. Shout out to the Rise Orchestra, Black musicians.
I knew that.
Just continue to support these wonderful Black-owned businesses, and buy this T-shirt from the Black BME website. We'll post it. I'm probably butchering that. Sure. But if you want this T-shirt, definitely go grab this because Black music does matter.
Black music matters. I wore that shirt yesterday or Friday. Actually, when I went outside.
And I'm wearing it today. You want a cookie? What are you wearing?
God is dope. This is the first time I wore it on the pod. At least I wore it like twice on here. I couldn't. I got the Black Women Matter joint because Black Women Matter. I got a black wife.
Oh, yeah, both.
She matters.
Shout out to Dom.
Come on for niggas mattering, man. That's crazy. I love when niggas matter. But yeah.
I hate it.
God is dope. God is dope. Stop texting me. I love you, everybody. Look, episode 14. I am not mad at this episode at all. Shakale Davis, Mojo. They both got new music out. Stream the hell out of it.
Just play it when you go to sleep and while you're awake.
And then also follow us on Gig Me Pro too. Just want to throw that out there.
Shout out to Josh Nicholson. Guys,
shout out to
let's shout you guys out too.
Oh yeah.
Get this Gig Me Pro. It's a website. It's a really dope website.
I'm going to send you both a link.
We're going to send you the link. Create a profile on there. Network with a bunch of amazing artists. And you'll read up on it.
Yeah, it's made
a new social media website.
by a black music. My guy, Joshua Nicholson, is an amazing bass player, one of the greatest bass players in Chicago. But he started a social network. Gig Me Pro for creatives, niggas like us.
If you need to find a singer, you can go and find like a singer based off of what's in their profile. It's super dope.
So yeah, I'll send you guys that. But Follow us on Give Me Pro. Go to Procast. Listen to the podcast there. Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Podcast, right? Apple Podcasts.
I mean, YouTube still
on YouTube.
But not for long because Patreon is coming. Yo, I'm Law. This nigga's.
I'm Lisa.
She's Cocaine Bennett, by the way. Did y'all know that's her rap name? Cocaine Bennett. And then her stripper name.
For so many reasons.
Her stripper name is Candy K. Benet.
Not stripper name.
Candy K. Benet.
Okay, not like that.
Say it right there. Okay, it's already.
Mercy.
Law. Lisa, we got Shakale Davis and Mojo. It's the Backroom Speaks podcast. The Brave Space
for creatives.
Cause find me another one, nigga. You can't find me, nigga.
In the back room of the back room.
Oh yeah.
With all bad fumes in the back room. Skeleton filled closets in the back too. You can talk about it. 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 In the back room of the back room. It was all bad fumes in the back room. Skeleton filled closets in the back too. You can talk about it. 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 You can talk about it.